Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm here with Rock is a Lady's Modesty episode number 11 reaction. Alright, the previous episode was the conclusion to the whole the whole concert, that whole thing. So basically in the end we still lost. However, it's mainly because people had no clue what the hell was going on. First half was, as we know, wasn't really that good. It was only in the last half or the last song that they were able to like really do something really good. So in the end we lost, and obviously Bitter Ganashe tried, their leader tried to take Shiro with them, but then one of the other members were like, come on, like, like she doesn't want to do it. She doesn't want to play the guitar. We've seen how she plays the bass, how she's good at it. We shouldn't force them as musicians ourselves. So yeah, that was that. So in the end, like, we also had Otoha and Lily kind of going crazy with against what's her name, Shiro, with the verbal like stuff that they do, like just like cussing each other out and everything. In the end she joined our group. Also we got to meet her, or Lily got to meet her in her school, like like how she's at school from the other school. They kind of met, and yeah, like Shiro told her not to tell anyone about her rock star persona, obviously. So she's in a similar situation as Lily, playing as a certain Ojo sama, a certain role, while underneath she's just, like a rock star. And so yeah, so that's what's going on. In the end, this is our group. Our group is here, and it kind of concluded like that. So I do wonder what we'll get today. Let us see. Let us begin. I'll be putting the subtitles and the timer here. Sync it to whichever is your preference, and let's get started. Right, here's the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. Okay. Hmm. Damn. I have no idea what that means, but okay. Damn. Right. Okay. Kind of. Yeah. Yeah. Good lord. Hmm. Well, you can start learning. If you really like it, you know. Yeah. Oh Lord. Yeah. Oh, all right. Hmm. Yeah, I guess. Bruh. Oh no, she's going to. Damn. Oh damn. Yeah, like if you can firm it, then that's fine. You know. Yeah. Yeah, that's why she said that. Bruh. Yeah. Right. Hey yo. She's probably liking it. Yeah. I don't know if that was a really a misunderstanding. The way she worded it. Oh my god. Right. Oh my god, she's still just watching. Yeah, she's like, where do these people get, like, get these guys? Oh, oh, it's raining. Hmm. Oh, her persona flip. All right, here we go. The shift. Bruh. You know what? This kind of reminds me of, in Keon, the teacher. I forgot her name. The teacher. The teacher was like hiding her whole rock star side, but when she revealed it, everyone loved it. It's in her inner voice. um. Oh. Hmm. Okay. Right. Okay. Hmm. I don't know. I feel like she kind of. I was gonna say her expression was a bit different. Oh, what's that little? Hmm. Hmm. Well. Okay. Hmm. Oh, true. Is there anyone who has won it before that? Right. Oh, is this the person that won it before? Whoa! What? Hey, yo, she probably saw her hands or something. Yeah? But she isn't even showing her fingers. She's just holding her bag. How did she realize? Oh, she's a noble maiden. Yai Takan Yanagi. Ah, in the picture. So she graduated, I guess. Okay. Ah. Okay, so how did you know that I play the guitar? Oh my god. Wow. Hmm. Good lord. You seem to think. Yeah, what? Alright. Not even a musician, you're also a comedian. Haha. Oh, the other school. Oh, okay, never mind. Yeah, she used to play the, what was it called? Lyre? That big one. What is it called? Harp, harp. Yeah. Wow. Hmm. Hmm. Nope, as she said, that she does what she prefers to do at that point of time. Yeah. Whoever heard her voice? Her voice actress is pretty familiar. Hmm. Hmm. Right. I don't think so. She's probably grown old. Damn. Oh, she's the one. Oh, makes sense. She's the principal. Yeah. No, try to be yourself, I would say. Yeah. Okay. So, committed serving her family. Right. Ah, wait, this is not how. Okay, right. I was gonna say, she's talking about sacrifice and all that. Yeah, it's a bit different, but I guess she has her own way of interpreting that. Was she? Okay, she was. Wow. Yeah. Her face. Was it the. I don't think so. She used to play the. Whoa! What? Alright, nah, man. That is ridiculous. I guess. Alright. She's gonna say, you. I want to hear you play guitar as well. Oh no, okay. Let's let's go back. Alright, backtrack. No, 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 no. I don't, I'm genuinely confused about her. No, alright, you know what? Let's back, let's back, go back. Yeah, this is not the way. Right, there you go. She's gonna get pissed off. Oh no. Nah. Well, right. Okay. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Wow. All right. Damn, that was something. I wasn't. I don't know. I genuinely thought like at the beginning that she was going to get like a genuinely good advice here, but oh, nope, no. As soon as she started saying about like, oh, I gave it up, I was like, wait, what? Gave up? That doesn't sound like something that you did because you loved it or something. It seemed like just like, oh, it was just something I did just because, it's like a tool for me to use to, like go higher up. But you know what? There's a few sides to this. I feel like, it is completely fine to use like these things, like any type of instruments or whatever. What she did, she used the harp playing as a, she liked it, she played it. It was just a tool for her to, like de-stress, and it was elegant enough to be accepted. But then when her father was like, oh, you're too high up now, you should give this up, she was like, ah, fine, it was just a pastime. I kind of liked it, but it's okay if I give it up. So I'm not saying that is wrong. I'm not saying that, oh, obviously I'm not going to be, like be a, what do you call it? Okay, just a minute. Oh, there's still something left. Yeah. Okay. She followed it. Oh, God. Well, What? So, so I guess people made videos of them. All right. So I was saying this that they didn't reach the proper audience. Who is this? What? Some boy band? Yeah. What? What's going on here? All right. Okay. Here's the thing. Um, like I was saying. Okay. So I'll talk about what I was talking about during the ending song. But before that, like I said, that they didn't reach the proper audience, but someone's took a video and probably posted it, and the in social media everyone watches everything, so it actually reached the audience which appreciates instrumental only. So I think that's why those people are now like, oh my god, this is amazing. Like, because they can obviously understand the true essence of a performance like that. Unlike people who were in that position at that time, none of them were like really accustomed to instrumental only bands. They were just here to like listen to some songs and whatever. So they couldn't appreciate it, but obviously in the internet, in the wide internet, there's a lot of people, and particular people who appreciate this type of music. They 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 caught attention to this, and they probably like contacted the live house, and they were like, oh, when will they come back? We want to come and watch, or something like that, I guess, happened. So yeah. Now, okay, what I was talking about a few moments ago when the ending song was playing, I was saying that I'm not saying that it is wrong to use, like, what the girl, the noble maiden girl did, where she used the harp playing as something to de-stress. She kind of liked it. She played it for a while, and then when it wasn't really required anymore and it was becoming like a hindrance, her father was like, "Oh, it's just, you should give it up." And she was like, "All right, fine. I had a good time with it. It's okay. I can give it up." I'm not saying that is wrong, because obviously you need to remember here, people have different goals. You know, different people have different goals. Some people love, obviously, these type of things like playing the guitar or whatever. They love this to such a high degree that it's not just pastime for them, it is passion. That is the difference between passion and pastime, in my opinion. Passion is when something you genuinely love, and you will genuinely be sad and you cannot give up. That is when it becomes a passion. A lot of things at first is like pastime. A lot of things can change from a pastime to a passion, or it can begin as passion from the get-go. There's like a lot of different ways it can happen. But passion and just doing something because I'm bored is different. So for her, harp was just a pastime. It wasn't her passion. Her passion was, as she said, that I want to be someone who travels the world, gets to know a lot of new things, like interact with a lot of different people. That is her passion. And it is completely fine for her to focus on that and give up on her. What is not okay for her is to tell someone, or I guess she didn't probably know any better. She thought like Lilisa was probably like her, but still, I'm just going to say this. What is not okay for someone is to tell someone else that, oh, this is what you're doing, you should give it up. Like, it's not going to, it's just a pastime for you, like something like that, without even knowing the situation. But like I said, I'll give her the benefit of the doubt. She probably thought that Lisa was just like her. She thought that, oh, she's also playing the guitar just like me, who was doing it for a pastime. She actually wants to become the noble maiden just like me. That's what she thought. Like, yeah, she definitely wants to become the noble maiden, but she doesn't want to become a noble maiden by sacrificing, or she was thinking up until now, Lilisa, that I'm okay for, I don't know, if I have to sacrifice guitar for it, it's fine. But I guess that was the section which made her realize that, oh, like, no, like, guitar is something that is so much ingrained in me that, the mere fact that someone told me that this is just something that I do for whatever reason and not my, nothing that significant for me, I should give it up. That mere, you know, like that was like all that happened here. That in itself was so I don't know, like insulting to her that she couldn't keep it within her. So I guess at least I realized that. But yeah, like I said, it is okay, because what the girl did was it's completely fine. She focused on what she wanted to do. Like it was really like a pastime for her. The harp, I think the harp, right? Yeah. Um, but obviously not every other people will share the same sentiment, because Lisa here, it's not just a pastime for her, it is something else, it is passion, like I said. But yeah, like I said, I'll give her the benefit of the doubt, because I'm pretty sure she didn't realize. She probably thought that, oh, for Lisa it's just something like I did for just de-stressing, and that is it, nothing more than that. So that's why I guess in a, I don't know, like in a good way, she tried to tell her that, oh, you should give it up. No, it's not give it up, sorry, she said you should keep it in moderation, something like that. So yeah, so I'll give her the benefit of the doubt, because obviously these two met, they just met each other. They, she has no idea what type of person Lisa is. Lisa's trying to hide her whole guitar thing. She could understand that. She could also understand that Lisa's pretty interested in becoming a noble maiden. She kind of equated that with her own situation, and she was like, oh, she's just like me. She wants to become a noble maiden. She plays the guitar, I played the harp. So automatically she equated her playing the guitar with her playing the harp. For her, playing the harp was just a de-stressing thing, just a pastime. So she automatically assumed that for Lilisa, guitar is the same thing. So that's why I'm saying I'll give her the benefit of the doubt here. Yeah. So right. Anyways, but like you can see, Lilisa realized here that, god damn it, this is just, like this is not it. Right. So, from where it started feeling odd to me, from the section where she said that, oh, I donated this amount of money to make this. I was like, okay. Then, oh, no, no, not there. It really felt odd to me from that point when the principal was saying stuff like, oh, you should listen, you should look at her, you should become like her and everything. Immediately, I was like, okay, like, so to become a noble maiden you just have to copy the person who became the previous noble maiden. Where's your individuality? You're just a freaking robot at that point, right? If you don't have your own individuality, if you just try to emulate someone, like, oh, this person did this person acted like that, this person was a whole damn emotionless, like, person who's just doing whatever to become the noble maiden. So yeah, let me do the same thing as well. Let me kill my emotions, let me just ditch everything that I love, all my passion and everything, and become like this. And so that's the way to become a noble maiden. What? That's just you might as well put a robot in that same place if you're just going to take everything away from me. Just a, yeah. So I did feel a little bit weird when she said that, and I did feel a lot of weirdness when I also, like, I had the same question that Lilisa had. Lilisa was like, how is she letting someone like the principal, say something, and how is she accepting it? And like, I also had the similar question, but I was thinking, okay, maybe she's just, like, she's just like letting her say what she wants to. She's probably found a proper, like, way to please both the sides, please her own self, and please the principal as well. That's why maybe she was able to become the noble maiden. Maybe she found a balance or something. That's what I thought. But no, she was literally exactly like how the principal, you know, is, like how the principal said that, oh, you have to become like this. She was completely okay with it. And yeah. So that is why I guess she was able to become a noble maiden. Now, I don't know. Like, this is like a whole ass, what can I say? Like a whole, this whole noble maiden thing is, for now at least, it seems like it's just something that you just have to act a certain way. You just have to become someone, like some person who's just given up everything, all their passion and everything, and just is focusing on being an elegant lady, you know so there's no individuality or whatever. It seems like that. But I do wonder if, I don't know if by the end of it Lisa will actually be able to become the noble maiden or not. I'm not sure if that's going to happen. But if by the end of this story, I'm obviously, I'm pretty sure she is going to become a proper good rock star, proper guitarist, and a really good bandmate. That I'm pretty sure. But I'm not really sure about the other part of her wish, which is becoming a noble maiden. Will she ever be able to realize that, or by the end of the story we'll realize, or we'll get to see that she actually like gives up on being a noble maiden and just focuses on being a proper a guitarist. I think she will be able to become, I think the story will go in such a way where she'll be able to fulfill both the sides, become obviously a rock star, a guitarist, and maybe become a noble maiden. I don't know, because I feel like that will be more ambitious as a manga story, because that's what or maybe they'll have some kind of twist to it. I don't know. Anyways, but if she is able to become a noble maiden while being a rock star, that will change the whole what do you call it? The whole the way it has gone up until now, that will change the whole thing. It'll be like a change to everyone. Like, oh my god, someone who plays the guitar, someone who is a band, like a rock star, she has become a noble maiden. So for that, obviously, I feel like this is going to be a lot of difficult to reach that position. But who knows? Maybe by the end of this story, Lisa will be able to reach a position where she becomes both a really good guitarist and a really good rock star, but at the same time she becomes a noble maiden. Right. So yeah, but for now at least, yeah, this is just a whole ass oh, you act this way, you have to act this way, you have to do this, you have to give this amount of donation and all that, and yeah, you're qualified to become a noble maiden. Just forget about everything, forget about your passion. If there's any passion that you have which contradicts with being an elegant lady, you have to throw it out. All these things. So yeah, that's basically what a noble maiden is currently. But rock and roll being a very good symbolism of freedom, I feel like being free and being elegant at the same time might be something that Lisa is able to reach by the end of the story, and she becomes a rock star and a noble maiden at the same time. That'll be pretty damn good. I do hope it goes in that direction. And Lisa's the one who changes this whole system of this track of going in the same way. Like, oh, you want to become a noble maiden? You take that person and put them in the track, and they start walking on that track. And Lisa's able to break free of the track and actually make her own path and still reach the same destination, and become a noble maiden. Anyways, because yeah, that is basically the essence of rock and roll: freedom, and not suppressing your own desires and being true to yourself. um right. So yeah, that was today's episode basically. So today's episode, majority of it was obviously that girl, but the beginning part we get to see Lisa is being taught by Shiraya, and Shiraya also told Tina about, when Tina asked oh, am I really okay being here? Tina was Shiraya was it's fine, you can stay here if you confirm it, because I know a lot of people like you who destroys everything, and then they destroy themselves as well by blaming themselves. So if you are able to firm that, if you are able to still stand and take all of that force, those brunt force, and still survive and keep going, if you don't give up, then it's fine. If you have that capability. And as she said, that I saw you in while you were playing, the fact you were able to bounce back from your little mistake at the beginning, and was able to carry on, didn't give up in the middle, kind of shows me that yeah, you are capable of doing that. So I'm okay with it. She didn't directly say all of that to Tina, but she kind of said whatever she said. She said it in such a way which kind of translates into this. she's okay with her because she seems like someone who'll be able to firm whatever comes her way. Or at least that's the impression she made on Shiraya on stage. So she's okay with it, you know. So right, and so that was the first section, and then we have the finals, and then we have the whole like that part with the noble maiden, that whole thing. But then in the end, we have the like the live house calling them, you know. So yeah, so that was basically today's episode. A really good episode. Like I said, I don't know. I genuinely was expecting that lady, the noble maiden lady, to be someone who would be like, oh, like she would be like a symbol of breaking free from the desired path you should walk to be a noble maiden. Like what I'm expecting of Lisa to do, like I said, like I'm expecting Lisa to break through and break free of the already pre-laid path of becoming a noble maiden, and becoming a noble maiden while being a rock star. So breaking free of that path and carving her own way to the top and reaching the same destination. That is what I'm expecting of Lilisa. I thought this person here in today's episode, this noble maiden, was someone like that. Automatically I assumed that, because I don't know why else. Like, this is very interesting because, I feel like the anime did a really good twist here, because usually in these type of scenarios where you just think about it, any anime that you've watched which has a character wanting to be someone or something, suddenly meets someone in that position, what happens usually? They see this person as a motivation, as a symbol, and as a way to become someone like that, even while keeping their own individuality. Usually that's how shows go, that's how animes go, where suddenly you meet someone who is in that same position which you're aspiring to go. That person usually is someone who is an anomaly, who has broken free of the desired path and has reached the same position while keeping their individuality. That's how it usually goes. I automatically assumed this is going to be the same, and the way the anime kind of laid everything out was so damn good that even while, at almost at the very end, when she literally said with her mouth that, oh, you should give it up, that is when I realized, like, oh no, this is not it. This girl is different. This is not what I expected. Like because this is not how animes go. Like I genuinely was expecting her to be that person, like who has, like went against all odds and survived and reached the position where she's keeping her individuality or whatever. Yeah, but no, she's just someone who is like, oh yeah, whatever, like my goal is to become the noble maiden and everything else is, I don't care. So she became like that. So obviously, like I said, I'm not saying that is wrong. I said this in the very beginning, but for Lilisa it is wrong, because Lilisa, for her, guitar is a passion. So you cannot put Lilisa in the same position as her, because her way of looking at the world and her like tolerance as to what she can sacrifice and what she cannot is way different than Lilisa. So something like that. So yeah, it is basically that. So that was really well done, I have to say, because I genuinely thought that, oh, this person will be like a role model or something. Nope. She can be a role model, but not for Lilisa, at least, because Lilisa's way of living her life is way, way, way different than her, and it's not going to match. It's like you're trying to put, uh, like a round shaped object into a square shaped like indentation, like a, in a square shaped hollow like thing. You're trying to put like a triangle or something. Like Lilisa and this girl are both different shapes, so you cannot put them in the same, like both are okay. I feel like both of them are completely fine as to who they are, but they won't be able to match. Otoha, however, I feel like is not only Otoha, every single one in the band is of the same shape and size, I guess you could say, as Lisa. That is why they match so well, because each of them, their values and the way they look at their life are identical. And that's why they, resonate with each other. Unlike this lady, she must have a lot of other people who resonates with her, but that's a different set of people. Not with Lisa. At least Lisa won't be able to live her life. She won't be able to live Lisa's life. That's just what I think, and that doesn't mean one of them is wrong or one of them is right. Both of them has their own way of living their life, and it's completely fine. So yeah. Anyways, that was today's episode. In the end, we see Lisa just going crazy and just showing, like, expressing everything, all the frustrations in the in her guitar playing. You know that one quote that Otoha said, not Otoha, but someone else, like Otoha quoted. That was a very good quote. Where is that part? Here we go. So she says, rock and roll might not solve your problems or even let you run away from your problems. Okay. But it does let you dance all over them. Yeah. Like it's a way of expressing that frustration. Obviously, expressing that frustration won't make you magically solve everything or won't let you run away from it, but it's a way you can just brush it down and just as she said, dance over it by expressing your like an own thing. So yeah, there you go. All right, so there you go. That was my overall impressions for today. Right. Okay, now let me talk about this episode scene by scene. And the very first scene, we have Lilisa and Otoha, not on, okay, everyone in that place playing their instrument. Shiraya teaches Lilisa, or is teaching her how to do it and how to play the guitar and everything in a good way. So you can see here Tina having second, like having doubts, because she's like, like, even if Lilisa is not able to play as Shiraya wants her to, she's still a full-fledged guitarist. I, however, am just like an amateur. I just started now. I had no connection with rock. I didn't even know what rock music was. So like, am I really okay being here? At which Otto has said that it's fine. Like, you were able to, like, what I told you that day, you were able to follow that, and you were able to, like, listen to my beat and bring yourself out of your own trouble. um that kind of proves that you're completely fine with, you are okay in this band. And and I would say, like, it's like this is her starting point. Like, every people has their own starting point. The main question is not that, oh, you started late. The main question is that even if you started late, are you passionate about this? If you're able to be passionate about this, it doesn't matter if you're late. Everyone has different starting points. It's just, like, it's just that if you really like it, then that's fine. If you don't like it and you're just being, like, you're confused about it or whatever, then yeah, you should re-question what you want to do. If you genuinely want to do it, then you can go ahead. So it's something like that, I think, because like, different people gets to like, know what they really like, and gets to really truly realize their passion at different times of their life. Some people like, discover it at a very young age. They are very lucky, obviously. And some people discover it maybe at a very late age, but obviously, better late than never. you know at least, even if she is, like, completely new to this, if she genuinely loves it, if she is genuinely passionate about this, then it's completely fine. Basically that, something like that, I guess. um right. Like, like how I would say, like, it's like similar to what, like, anime and video game is for me. I would say, like, I obviously, before, I was very passionate about video games, like when I was a very young kid as well. And yeah, but then, like, 10 years ago or something, like, for the first time, I was able to get the true essence of how good anime is. And anime also became my passion. So it was gaming before that, and now there's two things, that is gaming and anime. So I feel like at that time I was thinking like, oh damn, there's so many people, there's so many anime, like, people have started watching anime for such a long amount of time ago. I'm a bit late to this. But no, it's like I said, it's never late. It's never too late. Now I can say that since I've been watching anime for 10 years and something, I can say that yeah, this is something I will stick with for the rest of my life. I can guarantee this. Like I don't know what state YouTube will be in the future, but I do plan on continuing my reactions and commentary about anime and stuff up until I can. But there is one thing I can guarantee you, that even if I somewhere in the future I don't do YouTube, I'll still continue watching anime. Like this is something that I am 100% about. You know, Anime and gaming will never leave me. Even yeah, it might reduce, the amount of time might reduce, but it will never leave me, and I can guarantee that. That is how much confident I am, and that is why I can say that that is my passion. Just like how for Lilisa, guitar is probably the same thing. Um, so yeah, and so that is the thing. So that's why it's completely fine if you're late, as Tina started late. But if you're genuinely passionate about it, then it's okay. You will reach the same position we are in a few years. You know, so the question is if you're passionate about it. If you're not passionate about it, you will never be able to reach ours the same position as we are. If you're passionate about it, it doesn't matter if you're late. You will be able to reach us very soon. Because your passion is going to just take you and drag you through the whole thing and help you out throughout. Nothing else is needed. Okay. So, anyways, that's what happened, and then they ask, like Tina asks Shiraya whether she's okay with it, and Shiraya says like it's, you know, I've told you before, you were going to destroy this band, but at the same time, if you and while doing that, you'll destroy yourself as well by blaming yourself. But if you're able to firm that, then it's completely fine. You can stay here. At which Tina was happy, and Tina did the whole like grabbed her cheek, and she was like, "Oh my God, you're concerned," or something like that. She said, "What did she say?" Like "You're a really kind person, huh, Tamaki?" And Tamaki started stuttering and blubbering and just. and, and then Otto also said that, "Oh yeah, you are a disgusting person." And she's like, "Oh, that's a misunderstanding. I didn't mean it that way." And I'm like, "Okay, the way you said that in that episode, I'm pretty sure that's exactly what you meant." Anyways, while all this is happening, we see Alice outside still watching, and Alice was like, "Oh, sister never shows this face at home." You know. Okay, so after that, we have Lilisa again in the student council, putting her on her Ojo-sama persona and giving everyone like stuff, and like helping them out, and being a nice, like go high and all that. Right, but obviously the student council president, because it was her tea time, I think. She gives her. I was like, her expression is a bit, she doesn't seem amused by this. When Lisa was like handing her over the sheet and everything, telling her that, oh, I've done this, I've done that, this is going to help you. She was looking at it and she was like, oh, this is very good. But her expression, was something about her expression which I kind of was thinking that even if she finds it useful and helpful, she doesn't appreciate the fact that Lisa is giving this to her. I couldn't point out exactly why, but then later on she herself kind of confirmed it. She was like, it's all well and good, but yeah, this is tea time. So you're kind of breaking the rules here, like you shouldn't give these type of things to me currently. And Lisa's like, oh, okay. So right, there you go. After that, Lilisa is like walking outside, and she was thinking, what can I do? So to become a noble maiden, obviously you'll have to be academically good, you'll have to be elegant, all that stuff, blah blah blah, and you have to contribute to the school. And she's like, how the hell am I supposed to contribute to the school? Like what? Like do something for the school? Like how? Like like maybe like some kind of extracurricular activities, which is going to put me on the stage and everyone's going to praise me for it, and automatically that will make the school's reputation also rise higher, maybe something like that. But obviously Lisa, all Lisa does is play the guitar. I don't I don't think anyone's going to appreciate that here in a Ojo-sama school. So she's like, how am I supposed to contribute? So she was thinking, like, if I can get someone who actually is a noble maiden, maybe that person can help me. And immediately at that exact time we meet this lady Yayoi. She is the noble maiden of, I think, the previous year or the previous like generation or whatever. And she's here, she's come to meet the principal and all that. Lisa's like, perfect, I can ask her. Okay, I still don't understand how she realized that she plays the guitar. That's a big question, because she was like, oh, like, you play the guitar. I was thinking maybe she looked at her fingers, like the maybe like the calluses and everything. But she was holding her bag like this. How the hell did she? I don't know. Maybe it's some way you were like, and the thing is, like, this is a bit weird because I feel like there's something else about Yai. In no way, if you are uninterested in, I don't know, like music, like, or whatever, in no way can you automatically look at someone and be like, oh, you play the guitar. If you're able to do that, you yourself need to have some kind of knowledge about, that's why when she said that, I was automatically in my head, I was like, oh, this is the one, this is the person that Lisa's need. But then, by the end of it, we see, no, she is completely different than what I thought her to be. you know so I'm still confused about this lady. I feel like there's a high possibility that the ending part where she kind of said that, oh, keep this at a moderation, there's a high possibility that was her testing her. There was a part of me thinking maybe that's what's happening. But then there's like a 80% chance that no, she is genuinely like how we saw her. Someone who's okay to sacrifice whatever and become a noble maiden. Unlike Lilisa, who's never going to be able to do that. So I'm not really sure about her. Generally speaking, there is a high possibility in the future we maybe get to know that she was actually testing Lilisa. Otherwise, like, the whole guitar thing still makes no sense to me. How the hell did she immediately say that she plays guitar? Like, they literally met. They didn't even talk or do anything. She was just like, where is that part? Let me look at that part. Here we go. She walks, Lisa was there with her back towards her. She looks at Lisa and she says, oh, you play the guitar? How? How the hell? I don't have any idea, because usually in most of the animes where someone makes a guess like this, they kind of see their fingers or something, they see the calluses or whatever, and they're like, oh, maybe you play some kind of stringed instrument. That is, you can do that. She literally met her. She saw her back profile and she said, you play the guitar. How the hell is that possible? I don't understand. Was she standing in such a way that, like, maybe like gave up that she plays the guitar? Maybe is that how? Maybe she was standing in a particular manner, which a lot of guitarists. And my question here is, if that is the case, she must have some kind of interest in music or whatever, any type of music, be it guitar or something, in such a degree that she was able to immediately say she plays the guitar. If you just like something, kind of, as she said that, oh, I just played it for a pastime, the harp that she played, that type of a mentality will not be able to make you automatically say that, oh, by looking at someone, that, oh, you play the guitar. You must be like really deep into it to have abilities like this, where you literally look at someone and be like, oh, you play the guitar. I don't understand this part at all. Oh wait, did she hear her? No, but she was. Okay, so she heard her. Wait a minute, but she was nowhere near her. The way the. Yeah, she heard her. Okay, you know what? That makes more sense. I still don't. What? She wasn't even there. And Lisa was like kind of very much in a very low tone saying that. Okay, so she heard her. You know what? Yeah, never mind. She's on. I was thinking maybe she was testing her because there was a possibility that she was actually testing her at the end by saying something like that and seeing whether she gets triggered or not. Because I don't know. I was really hoping for her to be like a someone who is genuinely that person who has cracked the being a noble maiden, but at the same time keeping her individuality. But I guess not. She's just one of them, you know. Right. So that's why even after all of that, I was thinking like there's a possibility maybe she was testing her. I guess not. Never mind. You know what? Scratch that. So she just heard her. All right. Now that I'm re-watching this section, yeah, she heard her because Lisa was kind of saying that in a very low tone, and even though in that scene nobody was near her, when she says, I want to wail on my guitar, there's nobody near her, and she just appeared out of nowhere and she heard her. I don't know how that happened. So that also kind of made me a little bit you know confused because I was like, what the hell? And I thought that she saw her and thought, but yeah, like it is impossible to see someone and say immediately that you play the guitar. You at least have to talk to that person, look at their mannerisms, and at least see their hands. Otherwise, it is like it is some kind of psychic ass power. So yeah, she heard her basically. And then Lisa herself kind of slips up and says like, "Oh, electric," and she was like, "Oh, so you play the electric guitar?" So there you go. That is basically what it is. Anyways, she then talks about the harp and all that, how she plays the harp, and she's a noble maiden and all that. She goes with Lisa to the principal's office, and the way the whole show was kind of, like presenting her was like, oh, she's very free. She doesn't listen to everyone what they say, like exactly do. She's very, freedom, like loving. You can see she was like, oh, I used to play the harp and I used to just become mesmerized in it so much that it was way past my time to meet my parents. And Lisa was like, damn, that's crazy. I could never think about that. So that made me as well, along with Lisa, think that, oh, maybe this is the girl, maybe this is the person who will be able to show us the way of, you know, not only becoming a noble maiden, but also in retaining our individuality and, like keeping our freedom to ourselves. Obviously not. In the end, we get to know that. But anyways, this they really set us up here because they really made it seem at the beginning that, oh, she was that person, she was that girl, she was that lady, that noble maiden who we need to look up to. No. Then yeah, she goes to different places. She's just, like looking at the music room and everything, and then she goes to the principal. The principal's like, you're late, and she's like, hi, you know me, and she's like, and the principal says that, oh, just look at her. And this is from where it started bugging me because the principal was like, look at her, do exactly what she does. And I'm like, okay, that is completely opposite of freedom. Right? Because I'm in my head, I'm like, oh my god, this girl is like so much freedom oriented, and she just does whatever she wants to, but she's a noble maiden. So that was, I was like, yeah, this is it. But then suddenly the principal says something that is completely opposite to being free, and she was like, oh, follow her, do what she does and all that. And I'm like, that's not matching. So that made me feel a little bit weird. But then I was like, oh, maybe she just, like she just found a correct balance by listening to the principal and at the same time keeping her freedom to herself. Because you can see later on she says like, oh, don't, the principal is like that, don't worry about it. So she says stuff like that. So again, my, like I was like, okay, it's fine, maybe she found a proper balance, like, being a noble maiden and, something like that. And then she talks about how she, like loves being a noble maiden, and that was her main goal and all that. All well and good. Everything was, that was all well and good. And then she talks about the contribution, like, so Lilisa asks her like, oh, like, like what did you do, like, like what type of contribution you did or something like that. Like, while they were talking, she reveals that she donated the money to make half, like at least half of the money. That's what she said, right? Half of the money. I'm not sure what to say. One thing set me apart from everyone else it's because I donated half the funds for the construction of this new schoolhouse. That is one of the like here in my head I was thinking like, oh my god, she proved herself some way or the other by, like, and then she's like, oh, I paid for it. I'm like, oh, okay, that's a lot more underwhelming than I thought. Like, like I was thinking like contribution being like she contributed something to the school in a more abstract manner, like, oh, like she did something which mm, made the school's like reputation rise or something like that. I was thinking, but she's like, oh, yeah, I actually paid for it. And immediately I'm like, oh, like my whole thing just goes down. But I still was had my high hopes up because I was still thinking, yeah, this is the girl who Lisa will be able to get inspiration from or something like that. I still had my hopes up, because yeah. So anyways, and I'm pretty sure Lisa was still like that. Lisa was also feeling like seeing the different things, and she was feeling a little bit like, oh my god, this is how it is. But still, she still had a high, like, like a high, um what do you call it, like hopes from this, because one thing that I'm pretty sure Lilisa and both I was thinking is that she's free. Her freedom is the biggest thing here, which is something that Lisa wants. So the fact that that was still there was making me think, and I'm pretty sure Lisa was also thinking the same thing, that, oh, I can get some helpful information from her, how she was able to reach that. But all of that goes down the drain later on when we realize what type of a person she is, which is she only cares about being a noble maiden. Everything else is sacrificable for her, which is something that is never going to match with Lisa's way of looking at the world. So in the end they say goodbye and they, like, shake hand, and she's like, oh, I want to meet you again. When I come here again, you have to come with me and show me more places. And Lisa was like, yeah, sure, why not, all that. And then she's like, oh, you have to play the harp or something like that, she says, right? Oh no, so this is where she's like, oh, so yeah, like playing the harp was just, this is what she says, playing the harp was just a, oh no, she says that, oh, you still play the harp? And she's like, oh no, I gave it up because my father says it was not, necessary. At which Lisa was like, wait, what? But didn't you say that you, and she's like, oh yeah, I liked it, but it was just something, a pastime for me, nothing more, nothing less. um and then, and this is where I was like, I literally, while I was reacting, I was like, oh no, back out, this is not it. This is completely in contradiction to Lisa's personality, the way she wants to live her life. So back out of here. Ain't no way you're gonna get any helpful information from her. As soon as she said that, I immediately realized it's not gonna work out, you know. But then in the end, she was also, Yaoi was also like, oh, for the guitar, you're also doing it just like how I did for the harp, right? It's just a pastime for you, right? Keep it in moderation, please, because yeah, noble maiden and guitar doesn't really match. It's not really an elegant, like a thing. I'm like, yeah, that just let's. I was genuinely thinking Lisa's going to get pissed off and actually was going to like react over here, but she held herself. She held herself back. She came back to the club room and went goes crazy with it. And you can see Otto at first was like, oh, she's just like having a good time, but then she realized, oh no, there's something more to it. So she doesn't really make this a competition. She stopped. At first she was like, oh, let me play as well, but then she stopped and she was like, I let her de-stress and just whatever happened, let her just bring that all out. All right, and there you go. That is what happened. In the end, Lilisa was like, yeah, that wasn't it. Like, how dare she say something like this to my to me? Playing the guitar, is everything for me. It's not just a pastime for me that I can just throw away into the garbage bin whenever I want to. It's my way of life. So yeah. And then the after credit scene, we get to see like the clubhouse has brought them back, and the manager, she was like, oh, like, like there's some people who actually want you guys to play. And so yeah, can you guys do another live here? And like I said, the audience at that point over there wasn't really the correct audience, but now that it's on social media, the correct audience got wind of it, and they are like probably asking the live house, and they're like, oh, when will they come? So now we probably will have a proper audience who actually wants to listen to instrumental only music. So that is good. So anyways, that is it. That was my reaction to this episode number 11 of Rock is a Lady's Modesty. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, or you haven't subscribed, comment down below anything you want to say, anything you want to let me know, I'll check them out. That is it, guys. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next week with another episode of Rock is a Lady's Modesty. Until then, goodbye and have a nice day.